Welcome, welcome to a special but permanent episode of Smitty Snippets on a Tuesday, huh? Just trying to see how y'all are doing. Trying to see how y'all are doing. We got some stuff to talk about tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I get to spend Tuesday with you. Right after this, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go watch Deer Gun.
Yep.
Chris, say hello to the nice people.
I'm back, baby.
Okay, we had three people and
Um,
one of them left. Thanks.
it's fine. We want to go over the difference between Tuesday night's episode versus Thursday night's episode. Do you want to go over that or shall I?
So, we're gonna be going over shows that um, and talking about different newsworthy events that are going on, and just things I think should be mentioned, or we think should be mentioned in the world of entertainment. So it could be anything, but we're gonna try and stick to shows and movies and stuff like that. So anything in the entertainment world, we probably gonna touch it. So
Mhm.
that's about it.
Yep. And we do want to thank you all for joining us. Those of you who are here now and that will join us later, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate you joining. Like I said, this is our first Tuesday, but we plan on doing this every Tuesday, every Thursday, and hitting y'all with some good stuff. So
What's up?
Tuesdays will only be an hour. So we will be doing 8 to 9 on Tuesdays and our regular 8 to 10 on Thursdays. So
What's up, Irish exit champion and live from the bushes? What's happening? Oh, I want to
hey,
say thank you to Casanova Frankenstein, who is going to be joining the show at some point. He's been extremely helpful, and hopefully he's going to be joining us on stage so we can kick some stuff around. So glad to
yep,
have him.
yep.
All right,
All right. You ready
you
to get
got any
started?
news?
I have
Other
no news. No, no, no,
okay.
no news.
So first thing I think we should talk about, or first thing we're going to go over is do we think Marvel is back? Is
Hmm.
Marvel back?
Is my well, what do you think? Because I obviously it depends on who you ask and their viewpoint, but what do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think they have a lot to prove, especially after everything that they have done and all of the wasted wasted love and energy that people have put into into Marvel.
Wasted love? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, think about where they ended, right? Think about how broken everybody was after Infinity War and Endgame.
Right?
Probably not probably the best um action adventure or what's wrong with me? Comic book movie I've ever seen. Ever.
Okay. Right?
So
Well, we know well I personally know it was one of your absolute favorites. Because we went and watched it together in the movie theater, and your reaction absolutely said it all. So, yeah. So you
I think
think
I watched the trailer 1,000 times, and then I started watching other people's reaction to the trailer, which is what started me doing YouTube, if I'm being honest.
oh great. So now we have the backstory, guys. So you think you think Marvel has taken that, well, for lack of a better word, goodwill they've built up with their
That's what I was looking for.
viewership and squandered it?
Yeah, I think that they treated everyone like idiots, and they just started throwing all types of bullshit out there, and just just crapping on fans, right? They had Hawkeye and his predecessor, whoever she is, and then they threw out She-Hulk, and then they threw out the Marvels, and all of it, just a huge bag of ass, all of it. It's terrible. Every
Okay.
last bit of it was terrible. And it
Yeah.
wasn't just those movies or shows either. It was everything that was on Disney Plus. It was absolutely garbage. There was nothing that was good except for like Loki and
Loki was
I
amazing.
think there was a few more, but for the most part, they have wasted an entire just fan base. Just think
Right.
about how much they had. So yeah, I think they were
Well,
stupid.
I think it started obviously when Disney took it over, and it didn't when Disney took it over, and then they started just putting out so much content. Like, of course, we're used to the years in between movies because Marvel wanted to make sure that they got every detail right, like everything was pitch perfect for their viewership. I think once Disney took it over and they were busy trying to chase the dollar and like, hey, we have a cash cow here, let's put something out every 6 seconds. I think that's when it got a little too. I don't think scripting was good in a lot of stuff that
No,
they've done. She-Hulk was absolutely. I thought it was cute in some places, but yes, I can see the issues with it, for lack of a better word. Like, um, I, I don't know. I just think it was more of Disney chasing a dollar. So,
yeah. And then when the
mhm.
fans are telling them, look, listen, listen, this isn't good. Disney went, no, you're wrong. You're stupid.
Well, we know you
This
told
is
them
amazing.
multiple times that it was bad, that things were
We was like,
bad.
what? What?
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
like, yeah, you are you live in your mother's basement and you hate women. That's why
Stop
that's why
it.
you don't like this. That's what they were saying. They told everyone
No,
who
they didn't.
hated.
Did they?
They
No, they
did.
didn't.
Yes, everyone
Oh,
who
it's
hated Star or
terrible.
who hated Marvel and the new movies. They did the same thing with the female Ghostbusters and all of that, and they just swore up and down, oh, it's just people who can't stand women being in charge or anything like that.
Hmm.
We're gonna get into that in a little bit. But
Right.
that's not the point of this. But yeah, it was foolish. Instead of listening to the people who watch your movies and saying, you
Hmm.
know what, they might have something because
Hmm.
everybody's complaining. Maybe we should listen a little bit. They didn't do
Hmm.
that. They just said, no, you're an idiot, and we're gonna keep cranking out these loser movies. So
Well, true. But as you said, as far now, I know Casanova Frankenstein said that he didn't like Echo, and I didn't much care for
trash,
Echo
trash,
either.
trash.
I didn't much. I liked, but so the diversity, I think, is what obviously Disney is going for. But I think the issue that they have is they're trying to, and I guess really through no fault of their own, they're trying to represent. I hate saying it, but like too many different areas or whatever where the story gets lost. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but like I don't think that they're gearing the story well to that person. Like they're trying to make what they saw for her in her sense, the fact that she was hearing impaired, tried to make it where it was a benefit to her, but I just don't think they geared the story properly for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it should. No one. I don't want to say it like that, but no one knew who Echo was,
Mhm.
right? No one knew who Echo
Mhm.
was, and I'm okay with learning who Echo is, but you got to do better than this,
Right.
right? You
Mhm.
got to do better than this. This is trash. And Midnight, whatever his name is, that idiot that ran around
Min
in that white suit.
Moon Knight, I
Yeah,
liked
whatever.
Moon Knight.
Trash.
I actually like Moon Knight,
I
so
didn't I didn't like Moon Knight, but
I
I
did.
guess that's a difference of opinion. I'll accept that one. I did
Mhm.
not like Moon Knight.
Mhm.
Moon Knight, whatever. I didn't like that at all.
Uh-huh.
Um, just no one knew about that. Like in the movie where they fought where who's the magician?
Oh, Doctor
Strange.
Strange? Yeah.
Who was the woman, the girl he found like could jump through universes? What was her name? Something
The
America?
Captain America?
No, I can't remember her name, but that's what I'm talking about. Like you
Oh,
just
she's
throw
going
people
from
in it.
planet to planet. Right.
She could just jump through time, right? She was looking for her
America
parents.
America
American
Chavez.
Chavez. Yeah, nobody Nobody
Yeah.
knows who that is, and you just threw it into a movie like, oh, hey, what's her name? American Chavez. Hi, nice to meet you, American Chavez. We don't know that person. There's everybody keeps saying superhero fatigue. I don't agree
Right.
with that. I think
I don't
if your
either.
show
No.
is good and it you tell an amazing story, then I'll watch it. Right?
For
You take this.
instance, go ahead. Go ahead.
Um,
I'm sorry.
what else? What else has been good? Spider Man's been okay. Like
Yeah.
I'd watch Spider Man, the one where Aunt May died. Spoiler alert. Sorry. The one where he fought Goblin and he
When
had all
has
the
your
other.
Aunt May died? But go ahead.
Where they brought all the villains from the other time,
Mm-hmm.
which we'll get into. We'll get into that later. That was
But
okay.
right, but I feel like going back to what you said a few minutes ago, Loki, that show was amazing. And like I actually like I understand how it ended or whatever. There's really no way for him to be able to come back. And he was a writer in that show, that main character, or excuse me, the main actor. He was a writer of that show, which is what I think is where like they're having some of that tug of war, because a lot of the show or a lot of the shows and or movies, they're allowing the main actors to have a bigger say, which is fine if you have the talent for it, if you have a very clear path. And he has a talent for writing, which is why that show was amazing. Not everybody unfortunately does. So for instance, the last Captain America that came out, and then Anthony Mackie
Trash.
didn't wasn't he
Trash.
okay.
Absolute
All right.
trash. Utter filth.
Right. Right. But that's my point. Like not everybody should be allowed to have not every main character should be allowed to have say in the storyline, because it doesn't always work, is I guess what I'm saying. Loki, I know he can't come back based on how that last season ended, but I would love if he was able to come back, because that was an amazing storyline. How it was explained was absolutely perfect. You were able to follow it. You had questions, but they tied everything up.
I mean, they could bring him back if they wanted to, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just been absolutely one bad show after the other. And Captain America is the perfect example. I don't like him either. I I don't care what anybody says. Anthony Mackie is not Captain America. Okay, he just ain't. Okay, he ain't. I don't care what kind of suit he put on. I don't care about the shield. I don't care about none of that. All right, he ain't Cap. I don't care what they did. All right,
Okay.
so it's just bad because you made me sit there for 2 hours and some change, I believe, 2 hours and some change,
Mm-hmm.
and you ended that movie on basically the equivalent of an apology, right?
Yes.
You had Red Hulk and you had Anthony Mackie as Captain America. You had all these pieces in place. I'm expecting some great fight. You got a decent fight at the end, but nobody died. Nobody died. They just sent people to jail. They sent people to jail. It was so stupid. It was so dumb. It was
Well,
so dumb. They got this in a
right,
superhero
right.
movie. They got a slap
Mm-hmm.
on the head.
Right, right, right. They're not they're not ending the storyline for any of their, we'll call them villains or bad people or whatever you want to call them. They make it so that potentially that person could come back and wreak havoc at a later date, which always happens. So I agree. I agree. I agree. I don't think Marvel is back. I don't think they're completely gone. I think, however, they definitely need to do a better uh job at, like, because just to go back real quick, you and I used to run to the movies when they came out. It's more
Yeah,
like a chore now. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
We couldn't
Yeah.
wait.
Right.
Could not wait. And now look.
Yeah.
Now look. People ask you, you want to go? Nah,
Nah.
nah,
I'll wait till, yeah. It's a
nah,
chore. It's a chore. Yeah.
nah. I don't want to do it. So yeah, it's awful. I
Hmm.
hope they get better. If they miss with this one, ooh, if they miss with Doomsday, you can pack it up, pack it all the way up, pack it up, pack it up. That is too many swing and misses.
You
It is
stupid.
done. It's done. So
Well,
done.
hopefully, fingers crossed for them that they don't miss with that one. They're gonna take a big swing at it, obviously. But I'm hoping that they don't miss. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Every now and then they have some good ones, but all right.
All right.
Okay. Did you want to move on to your female superhero? We can tie right into that one
Oh
issue.
yes. So
Okay.
there was there's been kind of an uproar a little bit over the casting of the new Doomsday film, and
Hmm.
it was brought to everyone's attention that there are only five female superheroes, and out of 27. So that kind of angered a bunch of people, and um, I mean, I have my thoughts. What do you think?
I don't know if the amount of female superheroes bothers me. I just take issue more with how they're portrayed. If if that makes
Okay.
like to me personally, Black Widow is the perfect female hero. She's not overly masculine. She's not overly um feminine and using her female wiles for one reason or another. Like she's even keel, and if she wants to be, feminine or whatever, it's fine, but it's not like beating you over the head with it. And she's not trying to be um overly manly all the time. I think the problem for me that they have more so with the female superheroes is they try and bend that individual more one way or the other. So you're either really sexualized or you're really masculine. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I can see that. Um, yeah, I I mean, I feel like this is a stupid.
Excuse me.
I feel like this is a dumb argument. If
That
I'm
they
being
only have
honest.
5 or
Yeah. How
okay,
many should
what's
they have? 8? 12? How many is enough? How many should there be? Right? I think the thing that they're arguing about is absolutely all wrong, right? I know a lot of people didn't think this, but I loved Black Widow, right?
Mhm.
And it wasn't even so much about the plot because the plot was weird,
Mhm.
but even in the Disney Plus story, I think it was Hawkeye's Christmas like show or whatever it was, but
Okay, yeah.
the
Mhm.
the back and forth between Black Widow and her sister
Yeah. Mhm.
was amazing. I would have watched that show and movie just for those two,
Right.
right? Without
Right.
the plot. If you completely would have reversed the plot or did something else with it and took everybody out except Florence Pugh and my girl, I feel like that this still would have been amazing because their
Right.
relationship as sisters was completely believable,
Mhm.
right? Watching Florence looking for that acceptance from her sister, and then watching them finally hook up at the end, and then just do their thing together,
Right.
and then that culmination led to I can't remember Hawkeye's like real name, but he does the whistle that they do, and Florence's character realizes that no one would have given him that whistle except if her sister would have trusted him that much. And you see
Right.
that emotional connection. Amazing storytelling. That is
Right.
amazing storytelling. The Marvels. I don't know who drew that dumpster fire up, but it was stupid from beginning to end. It was stupid from
But
beginning to end. It had no place in anything. None. Right. And
but did you
instead of maybe saying there's only one or two women in it. Do women need to be represented more in comic book movies? Absolutely, right? But you can't just take shit and throw it on screen and then think it's going to be fantastic. It's not going to be good just because it's a woman or a guy. It has to be a good story and it has to be well told. And it doesn't matter who plays it. You can have a woman playing a part. You can have a man playing. You can have a kid. I don't care. Just let it be
right.
good.
Well,
So I
so,
think the
but
focus is
I
on the
think
wrong
part
thing.
of your reason why you have a problem with the Marvels was because you didn't watch the series of, I think it was Miss Marvel on Disney Plus before that movie came out, which kind of gave a little bit of the backstory. But aside from that, I didn't dislike that particular movie. I did. There were some parts in it, like the was it the sleepover or whatever that they did in that like,
See?
nonsense. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sleepover. Goddamn sleepover. Goddamn sleepover.
Well, so again, but that's just them trying to fall into the pit of, well, what do girls like? You know what I'm saying? That's that nonsense. So I
Yeah.
didn't particularly, yeah, I didn't particularly care for that. That was a bunch of BS, but
Yeah. Did they show
yeah.
Thor or Tony Stark shaving? Did show them doing something manly? It's just it doesn't need to be done that way,
Right,
right? You don't have to prove that they're women. I mean, they're fine on their own. Just have them play the part,
right, right.
and it's going to be good if the movie is good. And if it's not, it's
Hmm.
going to be, I'm going to tell you about it regardless.
Well,
So
yeah, we know. Yeah,
it
we
is
know.
what it is. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Fletch has a question. He wants to know, do you know Jade Cargill?
I don't know who Jade Cargill is. Who is Jade Cargill?
Okay. Fletch, would you happen to be able to shed a little bit of light on your question, sir? While we wait on that,
Yep.
we want to. Did you want to move on, or did you want to go a little bit more into the female
No, we can move
superheroes?
on.
Are you
We can
good
move
with
on
the?
to the next thing.
You
I
Okay.
think we've nailed that.
Okay. You wanted to discuss Star Wars. What about Star
Yeah.
Wars? Or did you want
Yeah.
to did you want to
Yeah.
discuss? Okay.
Same problem.
Oh,
Same
okay.
problem as Marvel.
Okay.
Same problem.
Oh, okay. All right.
You tell me what you think the issue with Star Wars is.
Um, Star Wars went, yeah, same problem as Marvel. Star Wars kind of went to hell. They've done again too many series, too many spin-offs, too many storylines, definitely to try and keep up with. Um, Not that I dislike it, but it's like really taking a shot in the dark with a lot of these shows. You had Mandalorian. Mandalorian was good season 1. Season 2, I started to tire of it a little bit. I'm not even certain I watched season 3, to be honest with you. Um, because they kept having him go out of his way on that particular show for these little side quests that had absolutely nothing to do with what he was trying to do. So I just think Disney has gone a little too far a left field. I know there are some of those who have said that Star Wars has tried to capitulate to their viewers too much, which has caused a lot of the problems because they don't want the characters to go outside of the little pigeonhole that they're in, such as Luke Skywalker, for
Ugh,
instance.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Um, I don't stupidity, I guess. Just
Why?
being
What do you mean?
just being dumb. Do you remember when you heard that um episode 7 was dropping a trailer? Cuz I do. I lost my mind when they said Star Wars. They said, "Oh, somebody was like, oh, the trailer just dropped." I must have watched it 100 times. A hundred
Mm-hmm.
times. I was looking for every little thing that I could figure out and how awesome it was and who was behind the mask in the opening. Watching the Millennium Falcon do the role that it did back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Watched all of that, and the movie turned out to be so much ass. It was so bad, and I could not believe what I was looking at, and I just kept thinking, what a waste. What an absolute waste. And they did the same thing that Marvel did with Infinity War and Endgame,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because the excitement was so palpable with the way that they did everything, and then
Right.
they just screwed it up.
Now, do you
They
think
just
part of
screwed
that
it up.
maybe was like a rush to get the product out, or
I think
that they
that
changed even like part of the storyline at some point during production?
I think that they had the same problem um, Marvel had. They thought everybody was stupid. They just wanted to see a specific character on screen. They thought if they brought back Han Solo and Luke Skywalker, no matter what they did, if they were just sitting down playing checkers, that they would have had a hit on their hands and it didn't
Right.
matter. And they was wrong. They
Right.
was like, oh, who else can we bring back? Palpatine? Let's bring back Palpatine. We can't do that, sir. He died. It don't matter. Bring his old ass back. Huh? We'll make
Bring
it a
it
party.
back.
It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense then. It don't make sense now. And then they turned
Right.
it into like an improv, right? Because what they had one director do 7 and another director do 8, and just pissed off everybody. And then they tried to undo what happened in 8 and 9,
Right.
and it was just like, what are you doing?
Right.
It was
Right.
like a slow car crash.
But wasn't what they did in 9 trying to fix what the fans didn't like in 8?
No, there was no fix. First of all, it was a mess to start with. It was a dirty
Right?
diaper to start with. It was
Oh,
just
geez.
absolute. It was absolute filth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had Finn. Everybody was excited to see for the first time to see exactly what had happened with a stormtrooper, right?
Mm-hmm.
The side of a stormtrooper. Like, what is his story? What is going to happen with him? Nope, nothing, nothing. He's just a kid's ass who was waiting to talk to Ray. Ray didn't
Right.
need to train. She knew every damn thing, and
Mm.
half the crew didn't even meet until the third movie. The third movie. The team didn't even meet until the third
Right.
movie. How does that happen? How? Because they don't give a shit.
And
That's how. That's how it happened.
oh, okay. All right.
They took an amazing
It's like, of
IPO, they
course.
took an amazing movie, and they played on everybody's feelings, and they just threw crap at the screen
Yeah,
and thought
but
that everybody was gonna love it.
I feel like they did that in that first episode that they put out, the very first one after the 20-year break or whatever with Zsa Zsa Banks. That one, once they put that out, I was like, never again. Like, I'm not. I was already at that point. I was done because I was like, who? Why? Why would we do this to me personally? I was offended.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. They were okay. Like I was interested in watching Darth Vader grow up, so I was curious about that
Uh,
aspect of it. But
yeah,
there's
yeah.
something
I'll give you that.
about those movies. I don't know if just like the colors faded or what, but it didn't look right. Something was wrong. And the best
It
part
was
of the movie, Darth Maul, they killed early. So they didn't have nothing to do. Nothing.
well.
So
Well, go
I mean,
ahead.
I don't know if you liked it, and then they went stupid and they were like, well, we don't have any more stories to tell. Well, we could do a prequel, huh? Let's do that. Let's show how we made the Death Star, the 15th Death Star, by the way, because
Right.
they just keep making it.
They do. They do. But I think that's the only thing that you can do at this point, right? Because what else are you going to have what else are you going to have your heroes and heroines fight against, right? What
Well,
else can you what do you mean no? What else are you going to have them
no,
fight
I
against?
said, well,
Oh, well,
I
okay.
can't find a pen right now, but if you don't have an idea, don't make a movie, right? And if you're trying to think of an idea, how about you sit down, grab a pencil, turn everything off, and you figure out a story that you want to write, a
Well,
good
but
story, and not just one. But if you plan on doing a trilogy, figure out all three, and then go make it.
the story wasn't necessarily about the Death Star or that whole thing. The story was more just like in the original Star Wars. It was the relationship between the individuals, right? The Death Star just happened, right, to be an additional aspect to the storyline, but the main basic point of the story were your relationships.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. I mean, Star Wars in itself is silly. I'm not. I'm not trying to pretend that it's not, right? You built
What?
an entire moon, and the good guys never found out about it until you were damn near
Wait,
done.
what? You think it's silly?
They built a moon.
No.
They built a moon, a
Yes,
moon,
I
right?
know, but
And the good
it's
guys were
not
like, oh,
silly.
oh shit,
It's
y'all
not
see this?
silly.
Was that up there yesterday? that
It's not
didn't that didn't make sense. How who are they hiring? Like, how do they keep this hush hush? You know, where are they getting all this stuff from? I'm
but
like, oh,
silly though. But all right, I don't
and they
know.
built
I
it.
think
They built it 4 times. They built it four
yes,
times.
because they are not done trying to destroy other planets. What about this don't you get?
I mean, how do you just keep doing it though? Well, you want to do the same thing again? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Let's do it.
absolutely. Why not?
They got
Why
us again.
not?
What do we do this time? I don't know.
Build it again. Let's start
You
from
want to turn this
scratch.
planet into a gun? This planet
You
into a
stupid.
gun?
You stupid.
Come on, man.
Well, who would ever see that coming, right? I mean,
Nobody. Nobody. I want
right.
you to
Well,
think. I want you to stop for a second. I want you to think how big a goddamn planet is. Just I want you to think. If somebody came up to you
but
and was
I'm
like,
just
listen,
saying.
hey,
Let's see it.
right, listen, I got a plan. We're gonna turn all of it,
Right.
this whole
Who
thing, all of
who
it,
would ever
into a
see it
gun.
coming? Right.
Nobody will ever,
Never
ever
know.
stop us
Mm-mm.
ever
Nope.
again.
No. Never.
That doesn't seem ridiculous to you?
I
A
don't. I'm
planet gun?
thinking. I'm thinking of it from my childhood brain, growing up watching it, and no, it does not seem ridiculous.
Okay,
Okay.
well,
All right.
uh, all right. That's. I mean, it's fine.
Amazing movie. Amazing movie.
I'm not saying it. I loved Star Wars. Okay, I still love the original three, but it's
Yeah,
silly.
that's what I'm
Like
talking about. Yeah.
it's silly. Like they beat mechanized walkers with teddy bears, right? So let's not pretend like this was a work of art. Okay.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
I mean, okay.
Okay. All right. What else
Excuse
you
me.
got?
We're gonna head on over to the Matrix and talk about
Okay.
Neo. And what if he took the blue pill instead of the red pill? Or should he have taken the blue pill instead of the red pill?
Um. Yes.
Oh, why?
Yes. Well, I mean, I want to hear your explanation first. I want to hear what the people in the comment section have to say about Neo and being and taking the red pill.
Well, let's just put it this way. First of all, you would never have gotten Mr. Smith. Okay. And I loved his character. But aside from that, um, if you were in some kind of universe or not universe, if you were in some kind of matrix, such as what they described in the movie, where you were plugged in to some artificial life, would you not want to know that and disconnect and have a real life?
No,
Why?
no, put me back in. Put me back in, coach. Put me back in.
What? Wait. So not having true experiences would have been a better existence to you versus living your true life.
Yes,
Please explain.
absolutely, 100%. You don't agree? You'd want to be unplugged?
I would want real experiences
Why?
because they're real experiences.
So it's only what you make it, right? Inside, right?
Artificial is
On the
artificial
inside,
regardless. Artificial is artificial
yeah, you
regardless.
don't know no better. You don't know no better. Pain still hurts, right? Everything still hurts. You still fall in love. You still meeting people. You're doing all of that stuff, right? You fall. You could get hurt. You could pass away. You could get sick. You could do all of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in my head, right, there are sunny days and there are rainy days, and I could do whatever I want, right? In your world, in your shit world, you live in a tunnel. You live in a tunnel with a torn shirt with not enough food to go around. Okay, you want that life? That's the life you want.
But
You
he
want to live that life,
experienced,
huh?
but
Being attacked by mechanical octopuses
but
every other day, working as a
he
team. You want that?
experienced true
No,
love.
no, no. I can
Yes.
experience love inside. No, no, I don't want none of that. You keep that. You keep that. Take this thing out the back of my head and give me my little. Give me that. Give me whatever it was that was that was making me sleep. I don't give me all of the blue pills. I don't want none of them. I don't want none of the
So,
red.
okay. So you want the just so you don't want to experience, given what they presented as being what the real world looks like, you would not want to experience that. Well, what if the real world looked better than what was given to you in the false world? Would you want that? So it depends on presentation for you.
Oh, all right. Don't think about it like this. Think about it. Don't think about it like this. Think about it like this. Right.
Okay, I'm
If
listening.
everything in front of you right now was fake, right,
Hmm,
and somebody was
hmm.
like, "Listen, we've been playing this long ass April Fool's joke on you. You don't have a family, and you don't have a brother. You're not even actually talking to your brother. You're talking to some stranger. He doesn't even exist, right? All this goes away, right?
Hmm,
The
hmm,
feelings, the feelings that you have are still going to be there, right?
hmm.
So to you, whether it was real or not, it was real, right? It
Right.
doesn't have
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be tangible. It just needs to be real to you.
Right. However, the difference being, which is what it sounds like you're doing, is whether or not I now know that the life that I'm living is fake versus me not knowing that the life I'm living is fake. If I'm
So you want to know.
oblivious, if I'm oblivious and have zero clue, then obviously I don't have a choice. So let me go. But now if I am made aware that what I've been experiencing is not real life, yes, I would want to know.
You want to know. You want to live that life.
But
Did
you're saying, hold on. You're saying that life. My question to you, which you did not answer, is if let's say the sky was bluer and the rabbits were fluffier and rainbows brighter or whatever than what you got in your fake world, then that would be acceptable to you?
Yeah, but that wasn't the life. That wasn't the life you got, right? What was they doing? They was eating porridge or oatmeal or whatever, right? They was
Right.
living in dirty ass tunnels every single day. They had to hide, right? Their clothes was torn and burnt and ripped,
Yeah, but
right?
you
They was
have the
fighting for
option of
scraps.
free will,
No,
free you
free will. What are you talking about? No, I don't
you
want
have
that
free
life.
will.
Every day you have to worry about dying, and you
Oh,
only get to eat this white substance, right? And then they got this this plug in the back of your
the
neck that they
plugs,
get to
right?
jack into, right? You
Hmm.
want that? That is the, oh, wake me up. I can't wait to live that life. No, no,
I'm
no,
you
no.
okay.
Leave
I
me
well
here. I'll
I'm
take my chances.
No, I feel like having the
Let me
option
in.
of free will, having the
Nope.
option of free will versus basically everything already predetermined for you in this alternate or in this false world, I would opt for free will.
Nice. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn if it's my choices or not. Leave me here. Leave me here. Give me where that blue pill at? Right here. Give me all of them. All of them. Don't
Stupid.
wake me up. Don't wake me up for this. For this. Don't wake me up.
No.
I don't want to wake me up. I promise you right now. I promise you right now. I'm being as honest as I can. If you woke up first and you woke me up to that kind of world, I'm throwing hands. Like me and you are gonna fight.
Right, but keep in
Fight.
mind the world that they showed him when they offered him either pill was not the actual world that he woke up to
I
as
don't
well.
care. I don't care. I do not care. I don't
Okay.
give a damn. I do not care. I don't care if it was full of bunnies and
Oh,
balloons. I don't give a damn. As long as it ain't dirty, nasty, muddy, mucusy, nasty caves. Okay, I don't want that life. I don't want to live in caves. Okay, I don't
oh
want
my
that. You can have
goodness.
that. All
You
right,
are
you
you
can have that.
are Okay. I don't know. I again, I've stated my case, but apparently you disagree and don't feel as though that's a good
No, you
option.
want the
So,
truth, right? You want the
yes,
truth. I don't care about the
exactly.
truth. I don't
Yes,
care. I don't care about the truth. I want to be comfortable in my life, and I want to be worry free. Now,
nah, I'm
as
like
worry
Tom
free as I
Cruise and
can
A
be,
Few Good
right?
Men. Nope, I want the truth.
Well, good. Go know the truth. Hopefully, I hope you find out that you in a cage somewhere and
Why I gotta be okay?
that kids throw peanuts at you. I hope that's your truth. Okay. I
But
hope that's what you
why?
find out. You
But
gonna
why
live your
does it
truth.
have
That's
to
what
be?
you
But why
wanted.
does it have
No,
to be a
no, that's
terrible
what you wanted,
like that?
right?
Why can't it be a beautiful truth? Why has it got to be something ridiculous? You got Casanova over here talking about eating rancid
Yeah,
oatmeal, and you talking
yeah.
about having peanuts thrown at me. That's just absolutely awful.
What is your draw for wanting to know the truth? Like what? Why?
Literally. So again, you don't in that you did not or he did not have free will. Everything was artificial. Everything was predetermined. So if that's the
He didn't know
case,
that. He didn't
that
know
was
that.
my
It felt
that
like
was
free will.
that was my point. You are saying it as if, again, if I don't know, then obviously I don't know. Leave me there. But if I have the option, if I am presented with that option, then give me my free will.
All that living like shit for free will. All right, you take it. You go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. But I have honest, true, lived experiences
Well, good. You go ahead and do that.
without
You
someone
live
there
in
with a
your cage.
joystick, making whatever stupid world reality, with, me or whatever. I'm just
Good. You do
saying.
that. All right. I'm gonna move on to one that I've been looking at, and
Okay,
you can pick the
what's
next
that?
one. Uh, why do we hate Jurassic Park?
Mm. Well, your niece doesn't care for Jurassic Park at all ever. I don't dislike it. I think the last two movies that came out. No, the last one was the one where they had the dinosaurs up for auction, right? That was the
Yeah.
last one. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that one was better than the one before it, but I think the last two movies overall needed shouldn't have been made. And I think the ones before that were basically just rehashing the original Jurassic Park that they had already, like, stories initially weren't original after original one, and then the ones that they tried to make original were just stupid. And they have a new one coming out. So, but I
I
thought
know
you
that's.
liked the preview to the new one.
No, I think they have.
Oh,
Um,
I
I think.
misread your excitement, or what I thought
Yeah,
was
I'm
excitement
not.
about it.
I haven't been excited for Jurassic Park since the first one.
Oh, okay.
They they have been they have been horrible actually. No one acts the way that they're supposed to in these movies, right?
What do you mean?
Um, well, in the first, I think after the clone girl, which why was she even a thing after she hit the button and released all of the dinosaurs into the world? First of all, how how do we
Got
not
the
catch them
pause.
all?
Okay.
How do we not catch them all?
They
Is
never
what I'm
showed
saying,
them
right?
catching them all. In the first
What
one, when they left the island, you had the whatever SARS ones flying around. They never showed that they caught them all.
So I feel like once you found them, like you could dispatch with them. You know, like you can't just have dinosaurs roaming around eating folks. And you're just like, well, they deserve to live too. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. The people just didn't. They didn't act like they were standing in front of dinosaurs. They had a dinosaur like um uh black market that they went to where
Right.
they were
Mm-hmm.
selling huge,
Right.
massive,
Right.
like Tyrannosaurus Rexus
Right.
type stuff, right? And
Right.
they were just selling them like they were nothing.
Yeah.
And then people got eaten.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Yes.
That's all.
But you
That is shit writing. And then what about the one?
well, is it though? Let's take a step back. Let's take a step
Oh my
back
god!
and think of
Don't
it
defend
now.
this
No, no,
movie, man.
I'm not defending it at all. It was absolutely terrible. I'm just saying in real life, if there were some dinosaurs available, you don't think some of the rich folks would be in there like, oh, I need one? Hell, they was buying mummies back in the day.
Well, I mean, this is slightly different than a mummy.
It's
Um,
true. I'm just putting it out there.
it just it doesn't feel like they respected the animal, right? Because they were doing silly stuff. Like I'll give you another for instance. They were selling that one dinosaur that they had made. It was like a raptor and it was something else. It was black and they had it in the cage. It was in the last movie that they did.
Right.
It chased them all over the house, all over this mansion like it was Goosebumps. It didn't make any sense. So the guy like collecting teeth. Do you remember that guy? The 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 guy who
Yeah.
just had to climb into the cage and collect teeth.
Right.
And then he gets in the cage and he looks away from the dinosaur and the dinosaur opens its eye and it looks and then it kind of smirks and then it closes its eye and pretends like it's sleeping again. I was like, oh
Gotcha.
no, no,
Gotcha. Right.
no,
Right.
no. Did he just get tricked
He did.
by a dinosaur? He just
He
got
did.
tricked.
Well, my dog
Duped.
acts like that. She's a smart one, so I'm just
No,
saying.
no, my ass. No, 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 you ain't no. No, you ain't even convinced me of that. Your dog did not trick you. Okay? So stop. Stop right there. You just it happened to be a coincidence that you turn around and your dog
You
opened its eye.
stupid.
They did not trick you. So knock that no. 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 That's why it sucks now. So,
Really?
I mean, what do you think? Do you
That one scene for you, or it was just a cumulative effect of different multiple scenes doing the same thing?
I mean, what's the fascination with blue? Why?
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Well, Blue wasn't Blue from like one of the main characters in the original film? Is that
You mean in the first movie?
in the first or like the second? What
No,
that I
he
go
came
ahead.
Blue came in Jurassic World. The first iteration of Jurassic World is when Blue first showed up, and it sucked
Right.
in, and his dumbass sucked now. And then he had a baby, and then nobody cared about that.
Right.
And then they was
Right.
walking dinosaurs. They was letting dinosaurs go like just for no reason. And then they had the clone girl who didn't make no sense, and they didn't even wrap that story up. They just had her and just kept her, and then for no reason, bad guys started chasing them. Why are you chasing the girls in an entire world full of dinosaurs? Like what are we doing? Like what is the story we're trying to convey here, right? Because at one
I
point
don't think
this
that they're
movie used
trying
to
to
be about
convey a story in particular at all. I think it's just dinosaurs. Kids love dinosaurs, so just keep putting some
it used
trash
to be
out.
about dinosaurs. Why are we
Right.
making dinosaurs up? Huh? Well, Indominus Rex. Why? Why are we doing that?
I
Why are we doing that? Why are we making shit up?
don't know.
Dinosaurs ain't good enough? Oh,
No, because
he
I
could
think
camouflage and he could talk to raptors. He could do all of
right.
this stuff that you didn't know.
So, but well, I don't know. I don't know. Again, it just comes down to creativity. I just think that unfortunately, with a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff that we see now on film, movies, shows, whatever, a lot of it's been done already, right? So it's a matter of the writer or producer or whomever just trying to put their own twist or spin or something different that you wouldn't think of or have seen before. Jurassic Park is what, like, you don't see a lot of shark movies coming out, although they have had a few over the last couple of years. Like, I'm talking about Jaws. Like, since Jaws, you had a break in shark movies until they had those stupid movies come out a few years ago, and then the one in Paris or London or Rome or something within the
Oh,
last. Was
yep.
that good? I didn't watch it.
No, no, it's like this is good and this is the opposite, and this is where that movie was over here. No, it was not good.
Okay.
It wasn't even close to good. Not even
Right.
close.
Right. So, but my point is, I can't answer your question. I really wish that I could, but Jurassic Park has become a terrible franchise, and I think in part because they're trying to get you, the parent who remembers watching the original when it first came out, just like we did when Beetlejuice came out. We were like, "Oh, Beetlejuice, that's gonna be good, right?" The nostalgia, and then we went and watched it, and
Jurassic Park just suffers from a bridge problem. I think
what do you mean?
they have point A, right,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Mm-hmm.
want to get to point B, but they can't figure out how to do nothing to get to point B. They just can't figure it out. Um, for instance, the Indominus Rex was in the cage, right? And then they just saw some claw marks. They saw some claw marks on the wall,
Right.
and they just assumed that this 80-foot beast with these giant ass windows snuck by them, climbed over this fence, and got out, and no one
Right.
saw it in the middle of the day. They thought that. They thought that. So, without checking any of the enclosure, none of it,
No. No.
they just was like, let's go down there and make sure. Let's go down there and go check the door. Why? What are you doing? I ain't going down there. You need to make sure she ain't in there first, right? But they didn't do that, right? Because they just had to get three stupids into the
Right.
enclosure so they could create
Exactly.
that scene where they were running.
My point exactly. My point exactly.
But it was a cool scene. It was a very
Mm-hmm.
cool scene,
They
right?
just had to make you get there.
Yeah. So when the lady calls back and she's like, the dinosaur is still in its enclosure, right? Very cool scene. Stupid, but very cool. Like, who's going down there? Who?
Not
Without
me.
double
I can tell
checking.
you that.
Are you sure?
You would go down there. You would
You out of your
if
red?
they
If there was
if
no
they said
trees,
Smitty, we need you to go double check. You'd be like, "Yep, got you."
if there was no trees, none, and it was just all open space, I'm like,
Oh,
no,
you ain't. You
no,
still
this don't feel right. He out there somewhere. I'm not going. I'm not going. You couldn't convince nobody of my shade to go out there looking for no goddamn dinosaur. Nothing. That didn't make
you
no
stupid.
sense. That didn't make no
Ugh,
sense at all.
you would be straight out there. Gotcha,
So,
Captain. All right. Well,
all right, you pick the last one.
okay. Last one is very quickly because we
Before,
got
hang on. Before you do that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Huh? We doing this because we love it. We like entertaining y'all, and we do this every Tuesday and Thursday, and we're trying to get to 4,000 watch hours and 2,000 subscribers. So help us out
yep.
if you don't mind, and let's get there. We gonna get there. So
Yeah, we will. Yep. And and we know you guys that Daredevil's about to come out here in the next few minutes. So we're not going to keep you too much longer, but we do want to touch one last topic of there excuse me, being too many reboots, which I 1,000% detest.
yeah,
Some things they just need to leave it and let it be done. I don't think and I could be wrong. Nothing's coming to mind immediately, but I don't think I've seen a reboot that has done the original justice. What about you, Smitty?
the original what?
I don't think I've seen a reboot that has done justice for the original.
No, because the directors keep messing up. They keep messing up because they think that they're done, so they kill the character, like like John Wick,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
John Wick. Now his ass is dead, right? But you
Right.
can't. What we gonna do? The same thing everybody else does. Time to tell a prequel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Time to tell a prequel. And I'm so sick. Please stop. Please stop killing them. Please stop killing the main character if you want to use them again. Like if you're uncertain, just don't do it.
Yeah, but the excuse me, the main character, the actor might just be over it too. You know what I mean? John
Well,
Wick
if
was
he's
what,
over it, he
five
ain't coming
movies?
back.
Well,
So stop making it. Just move on. Come up with another idea. Just
I
just
don't
you something. Something. Just
right,
come up
but
with something.
I think I don't know, man. I
They
just
just
think go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
I heard they were doing another it's not Lord of the Rings. What was it? Another Harry Potter? A
Yep.
Harry Potter
Harry,
reboot? They just
yeah.
finished. They just finished. They just finished. You cannot reboot something that you just did.
They
Okay, you
didn't
can't.
just do it. What did they just do?
What do you
About
mean?
Harry
When did Harry Potter end?
Harry Potter's like 20 years old.
No, no. No, now
Harry
maybe the
Potter
original.
is yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, yeah. The
No,
original is like
I mean
15, 20 years.
the first movies. The first movies. The
15,
first movie.
20
Okay,
years
so
old.
when was the last Harry Potter movie? When was that? When did that come
Hmm.
out? Can somebody look that up? I need to know because I feel like my sister is wrong.
Wow.
2011. 2011.
Okay.
So
Uh came out 2016. All right. It originated in 2011. The last movie came out in 16.
okay, so is it time? Is it time to reboot the whole
Yes.
thing? It
Yes.
is.
Yes, because Disney has a franchise on it. They got the thing at the Disney parks or whatever. They realize how much money they're getting. Why would they let that die? I'm telling you, man, it's all coming back. Yeah. Why not? Why
I mean,
not?
Disney
I'm
is
not
just
saying that I agree with it. I'm not saying that I agree with it at all. That is something like how do you with Hermione and all of them, like how do you I don't know. I don't feel
you
like
got to use
you'd
new
be
people
a
and start over. You are you going to tell the
I don't
exact
think
same
you need
story
to
all over again?
no, I don't think well, I don't think it's going to be the same story. I don't think you need to use all new people. There are some that unfortunately have passed away, but is the original writer that wrote the original books that the movies were based off of going to be a part of it? I don't know because she's had some problems where she's been canceled. So what are you going to do? Well, she was canceled. I don't know if she still is or not. But what are you going to do?
I don't know. I I I mean, I never finished watching them anyway because I thought they
Oh,
sucked.
it's a good sit. Oh, I got all the books. I watched all
Every
of them.
time it would start to come on, like, and I would watch it, they would be in some school learning some kind of dumbass spell,
Well,
and
that's
then
the whole
they
premise
would go
of
back to
the
being they would go back to
series.
kikiing with their friends, and then talk about something stupid. Like they were never doing anything like adventurous. You know, he was either talking to some big hairy dude or
Okay.
learning some
The
dumb
whole
spell,
the whole premise of the movie has to do with
or they was riding broomsticks playing some kind of dumb game.
that's a real game now. They made that a real game or a game in real life. Obviously
Yeah,
they can't fly, so they just do it on the ground. It's real fun.
I figured that
Just
part out.
like
They can't fly.
I didn't know that they had made it a real game. I was like, this is ridiculous, but whatever.
Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. I well let's see what they plan on doing before we throw shade on Harry Potter, dog.
I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm just saying you didn't need to do it, right? You, sir, we just wrapped. We just wrapped Harry Potter. Okay, I think the dude just got married and had a kid. Like he just finished saying goodbye to Hermione. Like we doing this again already? We
Yes.
already doing this? Okay,
Yes. Yes.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just wondering. We got to come up
Well,
with something else.
all right. Well, I don't know. I think there are some other reboots that have been done that probably shouldn't have been, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right,
But over
I got one before we shut it down, and
okay.
that
All
is
right.
sorry, I didn't mean to go a little bit long,
No, no.
but
You're fine.
um Can we expect to get any more movies like Indiana Jones or The Hunt for Red October? If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say The Hunt for Red October, you need to go check
Great
that out.
movie.
It's probably one
Great
of the better
movie.
movies I've ever seen.
Hmm.
It's an amazing, amazing movie.
Yep.
Is that Tom Clancy?
Yes.
It's about a Russian submarine captain who wants to defect, but they have like the world's most superior submarine, and they want to come to the United States and live here. And the acting, like Alec Baldwin and Sean Connery, it's some of the best acting you'll ever see. This is a really good movie.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not like the ish you will see today. None of that stuff you will see
No.
today.
No.
So
To answer your question very succinctly, no, you will not see things of that nature
why?
anymore. I think there's a lack of creativity. I'm not gonna lie. I think there is a true lack of imagination from the writers, from the producers. So I just don't feel like um movies like that are where they were somewhat commonplace um only a few years ago. I really feel like it's a stretch to even name, we'll say, three or four that have come out in the last 20 years. Like I really do.
Texema says you don't have a Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. I don't know. Um who's the dude that can't think of the who's the kid who's the dude that played Batman?
The dude that which Batman?
Um I can't think of him. Anyway, he's like his best friend in real life. They were tight in real life. But
Mm-hmm.
there's some actors out there that are pretty good. I mean, they're aging really well, and they do really well together or they do really well on screen. And I think they would do really well. They don't care to make those movies anymore, right? Because it takes too long,
Well,
right? You have to get
the,
permission, and you have to do all kinds of ridiculous work. Like you have to get with the military, and you have to get on a sub and all this other stuff, right? And they don't have time for that, right? They need a green screen and some BS, and they're gonna throw it on screen and then have you cheer for a little bit, and they're gonna make their little bit of money, and then that's it. They're gonna start over, rinse, repeat.
so,
That's all they care about. So
so you
I
think
agree
it
with you. I
has
don't
to
think they're
do
gonna
with
get any more.
laziness and budget?
I think it has to do with just laziness and lack of creativity. They don't allow the time limits that they used to for the production of movies. Like they need time. They need a movie now, right? On their time, not your time. So I don't think that the time frame that they set
Hmm.
is allowing people to make good movies. They're just cranking out.
I never considered that. Well, I mean, I always thought that it took a few years to go from, forget writing it, just from shooting it to cutting it to putting it out, right?
Yeah, yeah. But again, and especially now in the political climate, like nobody's going to touch anything political at all. They're
Mm,
not going to do any of that. You're
okay.
not going to see a Red October with all this shit
Well,
happening.
yeah, yeah. That, yeah.
So
So you don't think they could even do it like you don't even think they could do it Indiana Jones? Like you don't need
they
permission for or worship for that one.
they tried to do an Indiana Jones, and I don't mean like the regular
Not the
Indiana
recent
Jones.
ones, right?
No, I'm talking about PlayStation made a game. It was kind of like a Tomb Raider, but they used Tom Holland. He
Okay.
was like the dude who played like a Indiana Jones type, right? And it was butt. It was ass. It was ass, just like everything else. It was put it in the filing cabinet next to ass because it was the same thing as all that other stuff. It wasn't good. It's not interesting. They just make
Mhm.
it fun to look at, right?
Right, right. Uh-huh.
Everything has to be amazing to look at, and that's why these movies are terrible. So
Oh, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, someone can
Uncharted, that's
independently,
it. Thank you, Texema.
hopefully
Thank you.
someone can independently come out and have the the budget or whatever to shoot a well written um film that will stand the test of time and stand on its own without, you know. But like I said, right now they are very rare to come across. Like I don't honestly, I cannot recall a movie where I was like, hot damn, like that was an excellent movie, and I would watch it again. Like I can't remember the last time I've done that.
Yeah,
You know,
I think it's over for us, Chris.
Tombstone
Tombstone,
and
amazing.
yeah,
Probably one of my
exactly.
favorite movies
Hmm.
of all time. Amazing,
Absolutely. Hmm.
amazing movie. No, now we
Right.
get shit like The Gorge and
Stupid.
Star Wars 27. Stupid ass movies.
Okay.
So
Well, all right. On that note, y'all.
yeah, that's fine. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with us on this
Absolutely.
fine Tuesday. You guys have been amazing. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you enjoy the content. We're gonna do this more often. We're gonna try and make the show a little bit better as it goes. Our first Tuesday. Um, we're looking at Thursday. Going to talk about our regular our regular shows.
Nine
Nine
Bodies,
Bodies,
Yellow Jackets,
which I have not.
Daredevil. You and me
Daredevil, which
both,
comes on in
really.
a few minutes. So
Is out now.
y'all come hang out. Y'all come hang out with us on Thursday, and
Yep.
so be ready to talk about some stuff. But
All
go
right,
watch
guys.
Daredevil, and we'll holler at y'all later.
All
You
right.
good?
Cheers. Yep.
I'll holler.